יהי רצון פרשת חיי שרה. יהי רצון שהלימוד יהיה לרפואת כל החולים ובתוכם תניה בת הודה מרגלית, יוסף יאיר בן אביב החווה, הרב סיוון בן סימה, בתוך כל שאר חולי ישראל. I'm concluding 2 weeks of meeting tens or 100, whatever it is, of different talmidim that are thinking for themselves, how do we continue after high school? And one of the things that I've learned and seen is that there's a very big transition between the experience of high school to the experience after. And what I mean by that is that it's very, very clear when you're from 1st to 12th grade how to define what to do with your time. You're told to learn and you learn, or sometimes you mess up, but it's very, very clear and it's very obvious and it's very structured. And the moment that someone finishes that structure, there are only opportunities, but a lot of doubt. A lot of doubt, where am I going to be, how am I going to be, where am I going to get to? There's really a lack of clarity. And I think that this tension between clarity and doubt is something that we deal with constantly because of the aspect of time. What I mean by it is very simple. Time defines things that are greater than us. Right now, I'm 34 years old. As great as I want to run a marathon, I have to understand that every single time that I chew on a chocolate bar, it's going to prevent me from being able to do that. No matter what I dream of, think of, want, daven for, there's this idea that time limits you and defines you and controls you. And that's an experience, I think, similar to that concept of high school, where someone knows that they're very, very defined by where they need to get to. It's obvious where I need to go. University is clear to me. Class is clear to me. And it's also clear if I mess up, but there's such clarity because time is something that's defining you. What happens the moment that someone leaves that space, they have to start realizing that there's this difficult reality, which is that if you live in a lifestyle that everything is defined and clear, you also feel a certain concept of depression and sadness. Because really nothing's going to change and nothing really matters. So I think that this tension is in the pasuk of the life of Sarah. When we look at the end of the life of Sarah, it says, Vayu Chayei Sarah me'a shana ve'esrim shana ve'sheva shanim shnei Chayei Sarah. And obviously what's focused on in the pasuk is the word called shana, which is the word of time. And we have to understand that there's something about the death of Sarah that's focusing on the limits. Something that Sarah experienced for 90 years. That no matter what she wanted, time defined her, and in a certain level, she laughed when someone said to her, hey, Sarah, you could have a child. She said, no, but I'm in the realm of time. And time defines me. And if time defines me, I will never have a child. Comes the death of Sarah and focuses on this word shana, which means days will come and days will go. Like Sefer Kohelet says, right? There's a cycle. Everything's a cycle. It's a year and it goes back and it goes back and it goes back. That was the life of Sarah. Says the Midrash something incredible. Says the Midrash, Breshit Rabbah, Vayu Chayei Sarah me'a shana. Says the Midrash, Yodea Hashem Yemei Tmimim. Hashem knows the days of the righteous, V'nachlatam le'olam, and they could live forever. Says the Midrash, Keshem Shehen Tmimim, Kach Shnotam Tmimim. It might sound like a simple Midrash, but really, it is one of the most transformative midrashim in the world. It says that like Sarah was a person that was tamim, that worked on herself, she also affected time. Time did not define her. She, when she was 100, was as beautiful as 20. At 20, she seemed like she was 7. But what is Rashi really saying? He's saying that you have to realize that there's a lifestyle that you can live, that time is just opportunity, and it is never again a limit. Because if you look at Sarah's life, when she was 90, she broke the limits. And when she was 100, she looked like she was 20 or whatever it is. But what the Midrash is saying is that there's a certain type of lifestyle that causes a person not to be defined by time, but to redefine time. And what that means is something that I want to develop in the Sfat Emet. The Sfat Emet says in the year 1874, I learned this with Mori Rabbi Reb Jonathan Altis. He says like this, Lachen bara Hashem yitbarach sheyeh b'kol yom chayut mechadash. There's this idea that Hashem is renewing the world all the time. But how many of us feel that? Yeah, like we say, Hashem is redoing the world. We say it every day in davening, mechadesh betuvo b'chol yom tamid. We say that Hashem is renewing the world. But all of us don't really think that the sun isn't going to be there tomorrow. It's all the same. But what we have to understand in the world is that when you look on a surface level, everything is the same. But when you look within, you'll see that things are changing. And it's one of the most best experiences is when you try to explain to your children why not to eat 7 Dunkin' Donuts. And they're very, very sure that eating 7 Dunkin' Donuts is the best thing to do. And you say to them, but listen, it's so unhealthy. And the child says to you, listen, if I eat those 7 Dunkin' Donuts and I look in the mirror, I'm going to look the same. On the surface level, nothing changed. Nothing changed. But internally, that's a lifestyle. That you're right, that those 7 Dunkin' Donuts will not cause you any crazy failure. But it's a lifestyle that if you continue with, slowly you'll become someone that's controlled and not someone that's in control. Says there are 2 beautiful things, the Sfat Emet. The Midrash starts with the idea that the Pasuk says, Vayu Chayei Sarah. It starts from the person and then Mea Shana. When you live a lifestyle that you begin from changing yourself. Sarah was willing to give up her husband for someone else. She was willing to challenge herself in so many different ways. In Egypt, when she was supposed to go to Paro, when she came to Israel and followed Avram, she challenged her personality all the time. And because of that lifestyle, Mea Shana, Esrim Shana, time changed because she changed. Her perspective wasn't anymore surface, but rather dive. And what she did is she realized that you have to stop looking forward far and look inward. Because what Sarah teaches that she's inside the oil. And if you're inside the oil and you're changing, your perspective of the world changes, and it's incredible. Because the word Shatna means time, but it also means Shinui. It's the same word. And in a certain level, what it's saying is that there are 2 lifestyles. That you run after time or that you let go of time. And when you let go of time, what you're saying to yourself is that I'm not running after something before I know why I'm running after it. If you know why you're running after, the 1 second is going to be so different. And we know what this means, that when you're clear about why you're walking into your chuppah, that second lasts forever, but why? It's just a second. But you transformed your perspective, your personality, your outlook. You built it, and now that 1 second isn't shniyah, but it's shinui. My bracha as we enter into the end of the life of Sarah is to realize that time is not limiting. Time is inviting us to not go forward before we went inward. And I had this cute sentence that I thought about this week, that it's called, you have to, before you go out, you have to go in. So we know that the word going out means to go on a date, go out with someone. And everyone's talking about it, going out with this person, going out with that person. But you can only go out if you go in. Sarah went in, and therefore time was an opportunity. But when we don't go in, time is scary. And that we should have that ability with our families this Shabbat to not look at how we run forward before we have the time to focus mamash inward. And then all of time is just a hazmanah. It's not zman, it's an invitation to decide, how do I as a person choose to enjoy my time because I have realized what I want and why I want it. And so time isn't limiting anymore. Shabbat Shalom.